guys, and welcome to my channel. So today I'm so excited because I'm going to be sharing Sonlight's preschool program with you guys, letting you know my thoughts on it. We have started it, but we have not finished it, so I'm not going to be doing a full review today. Mostly it's just going to be kind of like a flip through unboxing, just kind of showing you guys what's in it. But since we have started it, I will give you guys a little bit of an idea of what I'm thinking so far, at least, of the program, what I like about it, and maybe what I don't like about it. If there's anything I don't like about it, I don't know, because I love Sonlight. I love a good literature-based curriculum. It's just like, what a better way to learn than from really good books. And I love how they just put together all of these amazing books. So if you're new here, hello, my name is Madison. I have 4 kids, ages 14, 6, 3, and 1. And this program is for my 6-year-old and my 3-year-old. I decided to do the very bottom one, the preschool one, so it's meant for like 3 to 4-year-olds, just to cater to my younger child, because I do a lot of things with my oldest, with my 6-year-old. If you watched my kindergarten homeschool reviews video, I talked about all of his curriculum we used this year and what I thought about it, so I'll link that down below. But I do a lot of things for him specifically, but I wanted to have something that I could do with my 3-year-old if he's ready. He's very like creative and smart, and he's on the go, and he doesn't really like to sit down for too long. But he does like listening to me read books and sitting with me while I read books. So I figured this type of preschool curriculum would work well for him because of that. Like with my 6-year-old, I did the Good and the Beautiful preschool curriculum with him when he was like barely 3. And it worked great. And I do have that for my younger child that I want to use eventually, but he's just not ready for it at the same age that my older child was. So that's the beauty of homeschooling, is that you can cater things to what your children are ready for. So, and figure out what you think would be best for them. So, I have really been enjoying this. We're not too far, but I just thought I would share all of the books with you guys because I love the books. I love them. And then, it also comes with this supplies kit, which I really like. So let's just dive in real quick. So I haven't honestly used this a lot yet because since my 3-year-old is still not really interested in sitting down too much, he loves art. So when he does sit at the table, he uses like his little dot painting things, or he colors with crayons, markers, colored pencils, whatever. But we have used some of this, like, oh, these I have loved. So it comes with, it's like these little cards, and it will say the number, and then it will have the amount, the dot, and then there's little dots that are the same color, and he puts how many dots are supposed to be on there, and we count together. And he's been doing really good with his counting. I've been really proud of him with that. So this just reinforces that, and it's simple and quick, and I really enjoyed that. We have done that. We haven't used these yet, but these are like little cards, which we will use these for sure because he doesn't know how to identify all his numbers and letters yet. So this will be just a good way to reinforce that, and you trace it. It's like this sandpaper, and so you trace it with your fingers, which I think is a really cool way to introduce how to write numbers and what numbers look like and everything. And they have the same thing for the letters. They call them sensory letters and sensory numbers. So I think that this will be excellent for him as we go along. When I feel like he's ready to start working on recognizing numbers and letters, then we will do that. We have not followed, they have like a little suggestion of what you should do, and we kind of went off track and stopped following it, just because it's tough with my little one. It's easier when he's napping or watching a show and we do the curriculum with my 2 older kids, but it's harder to do it with him, so we just do what we can. But something I figured out with the reading of the books, the best thing to do when I'm trying to read to all of them at once is do it during breakfast or lunch, when the little ones are like trapped, even the 3-year-old, like eating. Then he has more time, like he has more of an ability to listen, or I can have him coloring or something while I'm reading. So anyway, he will get there. This is cool. It has like a little knife, which I'm not sure what you're supposed to use this with. I'm sure they have suggestions, so I like that. They have like real life suggestions in their workbook, which I like as well. It comes with some kids scissors, kid-friendly scissors, and then it has this clipboard, and then there's, I actually don't have them in here, but there's shapes that they put on and they trace them. So you put paper underneath it and then the shape on top and you hook it on there so it stays, and then they can trace it. And both my 6-year-old and my 3-year-old have enjoyed tracing the shapes. So we have been doing that. But like I said, we've just kind of been doing things when we want to, when we feel like it. And I think that that's totally fine with preschool. There's no rush. And I don't want to make it like drudgery, like you have to do this, you know, I want to keep it fun for as long as possible. So another book that they suggest is My First Spanish Word Board Book. We do look at this occasionally, not all the time, but I like having this book because I want to do this with my daughter, she's 1. I think that these types of books are great for like even 1-year-olds because they like looking at all the pictures and everything. So I know that I will use this book more often, even outside of their curriculum, but I want to use it more with them because I do plan on teaching them, like using maybe that Sing Spanish, what is that? There's like a curriculum, a Spanish curriculum that I'm interested in when they're a little bit older. And I'm waiting, like my 6-year-old would be ready for it, but my 3-year-old's not, and I want to do it together. So I'm kind of waiting for my 3-year-old to be ready for these things. Like some of the things I'm going to wait until kindergarten, which is why I picked the lowest level for Sonlight, because I'm going to put them together. For Sonlight, I'm not going to do 2 because they're only 2.5 years apart. But I'm just kind of waiting for my youngest. And I think that's okay because my 6-year-old enjoys all of these books so far. So it totally works for us. But yeah, so there's that. And then this bad boy. This has some amazing books that we have read a bunch of these books so far. So far, this has been like the main thing we've been reading out of. And is the HarperCollins Treasury book of classics. And what I like about this book, I don't love how huge it is because sometimes it's kind of annoying to like pull this sucker out because it really is heavy. It's so heavy. But what I like about it, the stories are all really good. The pictures, the paper is all really good quality. But at the end, it will talk about the author and it will give you ideas of how to enjoy caps for sale further. So pretend you are a monkey. What kind of noises do you make? How do you act? Act out the story with your child. What does monkey see? Monkey do? Mean? The peddler sorts his caps to their color, gray, brown, blue, and red. Cut hat shapes out of different colored felt or paper and let your child place them on a doll's head. Sort the caps according to their color and show how the caps can be arranged in different sequences. So it has ideas for that. It talks about the author and even just learning about, like with my 6-year-old, I've been teaching him, the person who wrote the book is called the author. The person who drew the pictures is called the illustrator. Sometimes they do both, the same person. So that's been fun and interesting to talk about. And then it's like talks kind of about the story, like repetition and humor makes caps for sale a great read-aloud experience. Children love to gauge in the fur of the peddler and the antics of the monkeys, blah, blah, blah. So this is also even background information about the author and the story and how it's written is interesting for my 14-year-old even. So I think my 6-year-old, my 14-year-old, and my 3-year-old, not this part except for the fun, enjoy it further part, but just the story, can enjoy this. So because they take it further. And I love that about Sonlight, that they pick books like that take things further. So I don't even need Sonlight suggestions when it comes to certain things with these books because it's all in here. So I like that a lot. The only thing is how big this book is. That's the only thing. I guess I'm just like weak. The Bible that you use for this curriculum is called the Family Time Bible in Pictures. I love this little Bible. It's very simple, but the pictures are really cool. They're very realistic feeling, which I like. I think that that's a good thing for kids to see them in like very realistic looking pictures. So I love the pictures. I love the way that the stories are told. It's very simple, but I mean, it's real. Like, it talks about God's commandments. It lists out the 10 commandments very simply. And so we read these and we talk about them. We try to memorize them. We go back to this specific story. So even though it's very simple, even my 6-year-old, my 14-year-old enjoy this. And then also at the end, it has like little questions. Like, can you name some foods to thank God for? Did you know that all your foods come from God? Remember to thank Him at each meal. Some of them are more deep than that. Like, let's see. What did Joseph's brothers do to him? What do you think they told their father? When someone hurts you, do you try to get even or do you forgive like Esau forgave Jacob? Can you think of someone you should forgive? So these are questions that I can ask my 14-year-old that you can ask an adult, but you can also ask a kid. So my 14-year-old will usually know the specific question that they're asking about the story. My 6-year-old, I kind of have to remind him. My 3-year-old, I'm lucky if he listens sometimes to the Bible story. It's meant for his age, but I'm lucky if he listens, so that's okay. So this has worked great for us, and I just use these little Post-it notes to mark where we are. And then this one I have loved. So, I just love the way it feels. I love books, you guys. I'm a real weirdo when it comes to books. I just love them. I love the way they feel. I love the way they smell. I love the way a bookstore smells. Anyway, so brings back memories. Love books, and I love teaching my kids through books. So this one has been a part of our morning routine. We have this, which watch my Sonlight HBLJ video for my oldest. That's what he's using as HBLJ, the history of science. This nature poetry is from that, and all my kids enjoy this. And then even my 14-year-old enjoys these Mother Goose stories. I guess you would call them that. They feel like poetry to me. And so they're really sweet, cute pictures. And we will actually work on memorizing some of them. So we'll work on memorization in that way. And then I always have this marked because in the morning we will go through our ABCs for the younger ones. And my 6-year-old's so cute. He'll like close his eyes and ears and be like, and sing the alphabet because he doesn't need to look. He doesn't need to hear. He already knows it. So I don't know. It's just so cute. And then obviously my 3-year-old, he basically knows it, but it's good to do it again. And then my 1-year-old, who can barely talk, she kind of like hums it and tries to sing it, which is so cute. And then what's really good for the 3-year-old is I point to each letter, so it's just going to help him with his. And I usually let him sit in my lap while we do this, so it gets his attention. I'll be like, okay, Jack, do you want to come to my lap now? And then the baby, she'll be in her high chair next to us. It's just really beautiful, and I love just having a book that we're already using for other things. Pull that out, do the alphabet real quick. Just all super seamless. And I think Mother Goose type stories, or whatever you call it, nursery rhymes, that's what they're called, is so good for kids to learn about. So important, I feel like. And our son Jack is in a lot of the stories, his name, so that's fun. Okay, so those are the books that we've been reading or have already read so far. So now, this one I honestly don't know if it goes with this curriculum. I think so. Hopefully it doesn't go with HBLJ. I think it does go with this curriculum. But it's called Ian and the Gigantic Leafy Obstacle. Hopefully that goes with this curriculum. Okay, and then we have Horton Hatches the Egg. We have The Bee Tree. Noah's Ark. This one looks really good. Oh, and there's no words. It's just pictures. How beautiful are these pictures? I love that. And then Nana Upstairs and Nana Downstairs by Tommy DePaolo, I think is how you say his name. These are all this author. He has great, great children's books. So love that. One of the Everything on a Waffle is one of the read alouds. These, I have mixed in, I think, some of the first grade readers. So that's not, that doesn't go with this. Well, sorry, some of those are mixed in, but Little Bear, I can read it. Oh no, so this has got to be for, I got some first grade readers for my 6-year-old who will be going into first grade. So that's confusing, but those are some of the the first grade readers. But okay. Mike Mulligan and More. Looks really good, like that. Her stories may be simple and straightforward, but her books have heroes and heroine children can understand and enjoy. Ingenious and satisfactory endings and lively illustrations. The books survive because they exhibit so effectively the elements most basic to children's literature. See, they survive. Okay, I was talking about this. There's a reason that certain books aren't published anymore, and there are reasons that certain books are still published after many years. They stand the test of time. There's a reason for that. So that's like the issue I have with The Good and the Beautiful, like republishing books that are out of date or whatever, is because, look at these pictures, these are pretty, because there's a reason they didn't stand the test of time. You know what I mean? They're boring. Look, my 14-year-old son didn't enjoy it. So anyway, it's probably not the case for all of them, but most of them. Okay, this one looks cool. What do people do all day? I think this will be really good for my kids because they'll be like, why does Dad go to work? Or why is he gone all day? Or whatever. And so we can talk about what people do all day. We can talk about what their dad does all day, and he can kind of talk to them about that. And then we can talk about what other people do with other jobs, what they do all day. So I love that. It's a common question, I feel like, for kids to have. And then this one looks cool. Look, Usborne, Look Inside Your Body. Sonlight does a lot of Usborne books. And my kids love learning about the body, the human body, and how it works. They love asking Alexa. No, is their name too loud because she'll hear me. But anyway, oh, and this is like you open it. So there's the mouth. There's the food. Chomp, chomp. Then he's like eating it. That's cool. They're going to like, they love like the lift the flaps type thing. And we can talk about Carter with his intestines and everything that happened with him. And there's the stomach. That's really cool. I like how that's like a flap book. Our animal friends. This looks really beautiful. See, these are just books that like you want to read to your kids. Like you want classic books that you want to have read to your kids when they're around this age. And Sonlight just, you know, encourages you to do that. There are certain books that I remember from childhood. Like I still remember them. I remember them being on our shelves, or I remember reading them. I remember seeing them in our home. And so I think there's something to owning these books and having them in your home for year after year on your bookshelf or whatever. So that looks really good. And then Make Way for McCloskey. So these are just, it's just another treasury of just really good books, like Blueberries for Sal or whatever. I think that's one of the books. And just like the pictures, even in black and white, are just so beautiful. This guy's like playing a little harmonica. Look how cute that is. I love the pictures in all of these books. Just love it. Okay. And then Hans Christian Andersen's Fairy Tales. So fairy tales are obviously just a classic story that you want to read to your kids. So I love that, and I love the pictures as well. See, these are books that like are just classics you can read at any age. So I love that we can just start slow, start at like the bottom level, and just go up from there and kind of meet my youngest at his level. But also it's great for my 6-year-old and even my 14-year-old. And then we have A Big Quiet House.
Hi.
George and Martha. So this is another like collection of books. The complete stories of, hey baby, of two best friends. I guess they're like rhinos or something. I don't know, but it looks really cute. Baby. And then last stop on Market Street. And then the tall book of nursery tales. At least this one's light. Nice and tall. Okay, I think that is everything as far as the books go. And then the supplies kit. This is the 6-year-old. Did you know that's who you are? You're the 6-year-old.
Yeah, that's my name?
Yep. Okay, and so then you have, Sonlight has this big old binder that you can buy and put all of the papers. These are some of the binder labels, which I think I actually got the wrong ones sent to me, unfortunately. But, and then it has these little tabs here. And you just kind of check off each day what you do. Like I said, we've kind of gotten off track. We started off strong, just doing everything almost and checking it all off. And then recently we've kind of just been reading the books and not doing much of the other, Henry, please don't do that, it's distracting. The other like extra things. But I think we will get back into it. Like, and it'll just tell you like optional activity for reading the book Caps for Sale. Play dress up. So it's just kind of like fun because it's preschool. It just kind of gives you like fun optional activities to do. It will tell you songs to listen to, music like Father Abraham is a good one that it will just suggest. So if you want to do that, you can. Cast All My Cares, Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Toes. Just kind of looking through the weeks. And what I do is I take out what week we're on and I put it in my binder and bring that with me instead of carrying around this giant binder. But I like how it kind of gives you a suggestion of what you can do and what to read. But then also you can just kind of, you know, read the books if that's what you would like to do. So it tells you like an activity with the sensory letters. Demonstrate how to trace the sensory letter A with 2 fingers following the directional arrows and saying the short vowel phonetic A sound as in apple. Then allow your children to do the same. So today and throughout the week, have your children point out any word, name, or thing that starts with A. Axe, ant, atom, ash, atlas, ant, alphabet, all of that. So I think that's great. It's just something simple, like just, oh, throughout the week, just mention like, oh, this starts with an A. I love that. So we need to get back to like actually following it instead of just reading the books because I see a lot of benefit in following this as well. All right, and this is called T, Fiction, Fairy Tales, and Fun, which I do think it's fun. Okay, so that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, please give it a thumbs up, right?
And subscribe if you love it.
So subscribe.
Yeah.
If you're watching this, subscribe.
Yeah, or else delete the channel.
All right, come here, Henry. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Bye.